Yes, life was delayed, but it never gave the nod.
Hello, everybody. It's Annika LaQuette here, and you're listening to Navigator 9 podcast. If you are new here, make sure that you listen to the previous week's episode and hit the subscribe button for me.
I would like to give a shout out to my line sister, Tracy, for being the first to comment on the previous week's episode. So if you would like a shout out, be the first to comment on this episode.
I went to Morris. I graduated in 2021 with a bachelor's in sociology, a minor in Christian education. I am currently working for the Department of Social Services, where I am a family support coordinator, and I live in the Low Country. So, Chucktown, this is my new home. Honestly, I really don't even remember how I came up with the name, but I know like as me being a woman, I can relate to being a young lady, and there's so much in society nowadays where we have to compare ourselves to this woman, that woman. And so for me, I tell people all the time, whether the crayon is dull, sharpened, or broken, it still colors. So I felt like that's where the name came from. So people always say, "You're so mature for your age. You're so mature for your age," and I'm anybody can. I'm so approachable. So it's like somebody will meet me and want to tell me their life story, and I just wanted to create a safe space for young ladies because something older. I hear a lot of older people say is, "You haven't been through anything yet. Just keep living." And that's so not true because we go through so much now at a younger age. And maybe like back in the day, there were a lot of things that kids were shielded from because they didn't have access to it. But now kids have access to they have access to news before we have access to it, like through text message, social media, all of this stuff. So I just really wanted to create a safe space for young ladies. So that program, as you said, I do have little programs within the program. So you can decide like what's the area that you really want to work in, and that's where we'll zoom in most of the focus throughout your time in the program. So that one came from, as I just said, kids. We are all, and I ain't even want to say kids, young ladies, young men as well, but especially young ladies. We are always on social media. Always. And social media is always putting out, this is what beautiful is. This is how you have to look for this type of man to want you. So you're always playing a comparison game. And then that's where the bullying come in of other girls because, oh, you're dark skinned, so I look better than you because I'm light skinned, or you're plus size and I'm skinny, so I look better than you. So that's really something I wanted to focus in and really kind of teach them. Like in that class, you really learn self-worth too, because cyberbullying, and that's something that became so big within the last like 3 to 4 years. So much suicide from cyberbullying because you're taught sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's not true. It's not true. Words stick. People can remember a lot of things. Like you can remember sometimes who showed up for you or who did what for you, but words stick. You remember what somebody said to you. So that's really something that we focus on within that program. Oh my goodness, because I'm the first to do a lot of things. I'm first generation college graduate. And you get discouraged a lot. I tell this story a lot. When I was in high school, my high school principal told me I wasn't going to graduate high school nor go to college. That's something she told me. And if I would have, I credit God for everything in my life. So if I didn't know him and I didn't have a relationship with him, because of the figure and the authority she had in my life, I could have let that get to me and really just be like, you know what, she right. This is my principal. So if my principal say I'm not going to graduate, then I'm not going to graduate. But because I know God and because I know I had seen myself graduating, I had seen myself graduating college, and because I knew God gave me that vision, I knew that I could do it. And so that sticks with me because anytime I feel discouraged about a lot of things, I remember that if God be for me, it doesn't matter who against me, but as long as I have God, I can do anything. And I tell people all the time, I've prayed for so much, and I'm now sitting in the middle of those prayers. And it's so crazy because I'm planning a wedding with the man I prayed for in 2017. So it's just like that scripture, it just literally applies to my life in every aspect, because anything I've been told you can't do, I've always done. So I tell people that encourages me. I love when people tell me, "Oh, you can't do this," because I'm the type of, I love to prove a person wrong. So that's where that scripture comes from. So you can join Beautiful Broken Crayons through you can simply go to our Facebook page. That's the only social media we have right now. Under Beautiful Broken Crayons LLC. And in the description there's a link to the application. You can apply, it's free. We don't charge. So you just do the application, and there's also another link where you just go schedule your first appointment, and after you schedule, we'll meet and we'll talk about your plan and what you want to really focus on and get out of the program. I was don't just take that step. We're here to help. It's all confidential. I would never, you don't have to let anybody know that you're a part of the organization. We do group sessions. We also do individuals. So you just make that step and really work through it. Because I came from that place of being afraid to ask for help, and it just really keeping stuff bottled in and cause you to explode. And that's something we want to prevent. So just get out of your head and make the first step and join. This Facebook under Beautiful Broken Crayons LLC. I am also in the midst of working on our YouTube podcast. And that's going to be on the Beautiful Broken Crayons LLC on YouTube as soon as I can get it up. And we do have some announcements coming. We've been a little quiet on our Facebook page. And this is also one of the announcements, being on your podcast. So actually when this episode is aired, this will be kicking off the plethora of announcements we have. So any events, we don't have any events as of right now. We did go through, so last year I was able to give out a $500 scholarship to the high school that I graduated from. This year I was able to give that 500 to a college student at Francis Marion. We were looking at doing 1,000, but because of just a lot of engagements, actually just kept us away from really fundraising and meeting that goal. But it is our goal to give a college student $1,000 before they start college in the fall. So that's something that we have coming up, as well as the announcement of some partnerships in different states as well as counties throughout South Carolina. So that's really it as of right now. Oh, Women's History Month to me means so much, to really think of a time where women didn't have a voice, and now women are in positions that you would say is a man position. Like, it's really the definition of women can do anything a man can do. And it's just, as I said, to know that at some point women didn't have a voice, we couldn't work, we couldn't do anything but really be homemakers, to where we are now. Like, we have a woman as vice president. We have so many women in the sports industry, just a lot of different fields with women. It just makes me feel warm to see that history of how far we've come.
Tune in to next week's episode as we talk to Tanisha Michelle, owner of Black Woman Phenomenon. And remember, yes, life was delayed, but it never gave denied. I am your host, Annika Laquette, and you're listening to Never Gave Denied podcast. Bye.
Yes, I'm so proud of you.